Hello everyone, my name is Zafrullah Mahmood, and today I will talk about our research, which is a collaboration among computer engineers, social scientists, and mental health researchers from the University of Toronto and the Center for Addiction and Mental Health Canada. Let's begin with the big picture. Automated therapy has enormous potential. It is available anywhere, anytime, and can help reduce the burden on our healthcare systems. Automated talk therapy is now possible thanks to the conversation capabilities of recent large language models. But here's the challenge. Before we deploy these systems at scale, we must scientifically validate them, which means we need to measure their effectiveness on humans. Our group's research focus has been on developing a validated chatbot to help smokers move towards the decision to quit. To this end, we developed a chatbot called MyBot. It utilizes a widely accepted therapeutic approach known as motivational interviewing, and was developed in collaboration with therapists who are experts both in motivational interviewing and in smoking cessation. Our second major contribution is the scientific validation of our chatbot by testing it on humans. Among other things, we measured the effect of chatbot on smokers' readiness to quit, as well as the evidence of behavior change in their language. Lastly, we also measured chatbots' adherence to MI principles. In order to understand how MyBot works, let's take a closer look at motivational interviewing. It is an evidence-based counseling approach. Its underlying principle is to help patients, who are also called clients, find their own motivation for change. MI counselors engage clients to think about their behavior and link any behavior change to their own values. In order to successfully do so, MI counselors employ conversational skills such as asking open-ended questions, reflecting on clients' responses to encourage contemplation, and offering affirmations for positive accomplishments. We wanted our chatbot to employ the same skills used by an MI counselor. So we built the counselor bot by prompting a GPT-4o model. We iteratively evolved our prompt with the help of insights from our collaborators who are MI experts. We started with a short and simple prompt and evolved it over several iterations before we were satisfied with the quality of the conversations. After each iteration, we extensively tested our counselor bot using humans role-playing as smokers, as well as LLM-based virtual smokers. We also built a suite of observer agents to provide oversight of the conversation in real time. Observer agents are responsible for preventing harmful chatbot behavior, keeping conversation on track, and ending the conversation when needed. Observer agents are also prompted instances of GPT-4o. Counselor bot, together with observers, makes the complete MyBot system. Now, let's see how we conducted a human study to validate the chatbot. We conducted an online study on 106 smokers and paid them to talk to a chatbot. But before talking to the chatbot, participants filled out surveys. Specifically, they indicated their confidence that they could quit. This is how the question was posed. On a scale from 0 to 10, how confident are you that you would succeed at stopping smoking if you start now? Participants answered the same question a week later after talking to the chatbot. The change in confidence before the conversation and a week later is our primary metric for chatbot's effectiveness, as it has been shown to be most predictive of downstream quitting success. In a study on 106 participants, their average confidence before talking to the chatbot was 2.8. 1 week later, their average confidence increased to 4.5, which means the average change in confidence was plus 1.7. This is a very promising result. Let's look closely how this metric, the week later change in confidence, varies among participants. As we can see, around 60% of the participants showed a positive change in confidence. Interestingly, around 28% did not change their confidence level at all, while around 12% saw a drop of 1 or 2 points. Another important success criterion is the client's perception of chatbot's empathy. This is measured with a survey consisting of 10 questions, each on a scale from 0 to 5. Here is an example of such question. How was my bot at making you feel at ease? Which means being friendly and warm towards you, among other things. My bot received an average empathy score of 42 out of 50. Moreover, around 11% of the participants gave it a perfect score of 50 out of 50. To compare these numbers, we can look at the same survey result from an old version of MyBot, which, rather than being fully generative, used scripted questions. This older version received 36 out of 50. Typical human healthcare professionals receive a much higher score of 46, and about half of their interactions receive a perfect score. So, there is still a gap between the chatbot and humans in perceived empathy. To do further validation, we label counselor and client language into useful categories. This was automated with the help of LLM-based classifiers. The automated transcript analysis examined each counselor statement to determine whether it is adherent with MI principles. Similarly, it labeled client statements into exhibiting either change talk or sustained talk. Change talk is when the client's language reflects desire or reason to change, whereas sustained talk refers to the client statements where the language shows some resistance to change. Here is an example of sustained talk. I have tried quitting before and it always ends the same. I light up again. And here is an example of change talk. Yeah, I guess I do want to be the kind of person she is proud of. More change talk, which can be measured as the percentage of client statements exhibiting change talk, is associated with improved behavioral outcome and hence becomes an important metric. We compared the percent change talk of participants in our study with that of a publicly available dataset of MI demonstrations called the High Low Quality Counseling Dataset. The dataset has two subsets, a set of high quality MI conversation and a set of low quality MI conversations. We used our automated transcript analysis on this dataset and compared the results against those from our human study. Here are the results for percent change talk. For low quality transcript, the percent change talk stands at 23%, while the average percent change talk in high quality transcripts was 53%. Transcripts from our human study had an average percent change talk of 59%, very close to that of high quality transcripts. To dig deeper into this result, we plot the distribution of percent change talk across transcripts. For the low quality transcripts, as evident from the fat tail at the lower end, most of the transcripts have a percent change talk of 20% or lower. For high quality transcripts, most transcripts exhibit more than 50% change talk. Percent change talk in transcripts from our study closely match the distribution of high quality dataset, which is again very promising. Lastly, we calculate the percent of MI adherent counselor statements in both high and low quality transcripts. For low quality transcripts, percent MI adherent statements is 42%, while for high quality transcripts, it is 92%, and for my bot, it is 98%. To summarize, after talking to the chatbot, participants reported an increase in confidence of plus 1.7. Their percent change talk matched that of high quality MI, and 98% of counselor statements were MI adherent. Therefore, we conclude that automated therapy using fully generative LLMs has promise. We are also releasing the dataset from our study, which includes transcripts from human chatbot conversations, individual outcomes, survey responses, as well as automated labels, both on utterance and transcript level. Here is the link to our dataset. Thanks for listening.